We're eating food with a bunch of chemicals in it. We're eating food that destroys the healthy microbiome of your gut, the healthy flora of your gut. And so you're supposed to have all these amazing, beneficial, good bacteria. So we got the good guys and the bad guys. The good guys are good, beneficial bacteria. When those are killed off and destroyed with sugar and grain and corn and GMO and commercial seed oils like we talked about yesterday, now instead of having this powerful, strong army of good bacteria that fights off bad bacteria, fights off yeast, fights off fungus, fights off parasites, fights off viruses, now all of these opportunistic microbes come into your gut and they're like, ooh, this looks like a cool place to chill and take a seat and just relax in here, and I can get fed, and I can give my host CJ all kinds of cravings, things that she doesn't even really want or need, but I want those foods. I'm going to give her cravings for the foods that I want that are going to support me, like sugar and processed foods and chemicals and carbs. Yes, most of those cravings that you have are not your own real cravings. You actually have more microbes in your body than you have cells in your body. Dr. CJ Benkert here with Puta Vida Wellness. I am very excited about today's topic. Do you know, let me ask you a question. Do you know the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic? Type in the comments below whether you're watching this on my Facebook page or in my YouTube channel. What is the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic? And why the heck do we care anyway? Well, we care because gut health is probably at the basis, probably one of the most important things to know about and to be aware of as far as your health, how you feel, how much inflammation you have in your body, your mental health. So I'm going to take the next few minutes and we're going to dive in deep in very distilled, powerful tidbits of information in the next 10 minutes to teach you why gut health is so important, what are prebiotics, what are probiotics, what is microbiome, what the heck is that? All right, I'm Dr. CJ Benkert with Puta Vida Wellness, inspiring you, motivating you, and teaching you to live your purest life. I am on a 90-day journey to teach you my 12 core concepts. After 28 years of practice, I have finally distilled down into 12 core concepts, what I believe make up the wheel. So if you look at like a wheel, and you have like these the what do you call them, like the not the nuggets, but a wheel, and like I guess maybe like spokes, but there's a wheel of health, and there's like 12 main bullet points, 12 core concepts that circle that wheel, and all 12 of them are super important. I've been teaching on all 12 of these concepts for most of my chiropractic career, my holistic health coaching career. I've been learning about these concepts my entire life, so not just with the last 28 years of practice, but the last 58 years on the planet. So my 12 core concepts are pure food, pure water, fasting, sugar burning versus fat burning, grounding and earthing, meditation, spirituality, diet variation, exercise, detoxification, relationships, love, heart, constant learning and teaching, and the 12th core concept is being proactive, being preventative in nature, and there's no way that you can know what's going on in your body without testing. So this week, This is lesson number 6, I think. Yes, lesson number 6 of 7 on pure food. So I've talked about macronutrients, micronutrients, quality of the food, organic versus non-organic, GMO versus non-GMO. I've talked about commercially raised animals versus humanely pasture-raised animals. So we've really gone deep into the quality of food. Any of those videos you can go back and watch. They're on my YouTube channel. They're here in my Facebook page. But today we're going to cover microbiome gut health. So when I ask people and they come into my clinic, I'll ask them, so are you taking any digestive enzymes? And they say, oh yeah, I'm taking a probiotic. So the knowledge base, I think, of the general layperson is that, first of all, one of the most commonly taken supplements are fish oil, which is one of the most dangerous supplements you can take. Very unstable, very rancid. I don't advocate taking fish oil. And the second thing that the most common thing people take, besides a multivitamin, is a probiotic. So people don't even know what it is, and they think it's digestive support. It's not. So let's talk about it. I posted in my Facebook page, and I can show you these. We're going to talk about the difference between probiotic versus prebiotic. So a probiotic is a living microorganism. A probiotic is like lactobacillus. There's millions of different strains, billions of different strains of healthy, good bacteria that's supposed to be in your gut. But the problem is when we eat foods that are non-organic, that have pesticides on them, you're getting glyphosates, which destroy your gut health, destroy your microbiome. And just so you know, tomorrow I'm going to go into deeper discussion regarding all the steps of digestion, so you have a real clear picture of the difference between, stomach, digestive support versus small intestine, colon. Right now we're talking about gut microbiome, which is primarily colon, but it can be stomach and small intestine as well. But for the most part, we're talking colon, or anywhere along the digestive tract, stomach, small intestine, and colon. Anyway, glyphosates destroy good bacteria. So what happens is we're eating cooked, processed food. We're eating food with a bunch of chemicals in it. We're eating food that destroys the healthy microbiome of your gut, the healthy flora of your gut. And so you're supposed to have all these amazing, beneficial, good bacteria. So we got the good guys and the bad guys. The good guys are good, beneficial bacteria. When those are killed off and destroyed with sugar and grain and corn and GMO and commercial seed oils like we talked about yesterday, now instead of having this powerful, strong army of good bacteria that fights off bad bacteria, fights off yeast, fights off fungus, fights off parasites, fights off viruses. Now all of these opportunistic microbes come into your gut and they're like, ooh, this looks like a cool place to chill and take a seat and just relax in here, and I can get fed, and I can give my host CJ all kinds of cravings, things that she doesn't even really want or need, but I want those foods. So I'm going to give her cravings for the foods that I want that are going to support me, like sugar and processed foods and chemicals and carbs. Yes, most of those cravings that you have are not your own real cravings. You actually have more microbes in your body than you have cells in your body. We have 50 to 100 trillion cells in our body. We have, I think it's 100 times more microbes in our body. So they will give you cravings. So what do we do? What do we do? First of all, we need to go back and watch some of my trainings, clean up your diet, eat mostly pure whole food with one ingredient, stay away from dead packaged processed food. So and as far as probiotics go, so let's talk about probiotics first and then prebiotics. So probiotics are live microorganisms organisms. They're basically all the good bacteria that you're supposed to have in your gut that have been killed off or overtaken by the bad guys. Probiotics can be bacteria. You can get them you can get them in food supplements and certain foods. Now, I personally do not recommend taking a probiotic unless we do the proper testing to see exactly what the division of different bacteria are in your gut so that we give you the right type of probiotic. The problem is when you take a probiotic, each probiotic has different strains of bacteria. And most people take the same probiotic over and over and over again. So now you're setting up this monoculture in your gut of just a few bacteria or whatever strains that particular brand has. So I personally do not like probiotics unless, again, we do that testing in my office. It's called Gut Zoomer. It allows us to see exactly what the terrain of your gut is and what it's made up of and how diversified your gut bacteria are and which ones you're missing so that we can get very specific with the probiotics. What I like to do instead is I like to do fermented foods that are rich in the good bacteria. So I posted a picture. Here's another picture on the Facebook page. These are some examples of probiotic foods. So let's just focus on the probiotic right now. So we have kefir, coconut kefir. This is the plant-based diagram. So my personal favorite fermented foods are raw fermented vegetables. There's a company that is carried, I think, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and Mother's if you're in California. I know Whole Foods is nationwide. I think it's called Brine. And they have raw fermented kimchi, sauerkraut, and they have all different flavors. They have like dill, caraway seed, they have like garlic, beets. And they use different vegetables, cabbage, bok choy, beets. So fermented vegetables, raw, if you want to make them yourself, great. But I recommend food probiotics instead. I also really love kombucha. So kombucha is a fermented drink. You have to be really careful with the amount of sugar in it though. So again, remember yesterday I talked about I try to keep each meal 5 grams of carbs and below. So if you're going to do kombucha, most bottles have at least 8 to 10 grams of sugar. So you want to do like a half a bottle at a time. So kombucha is a favorite of mine. Raw whole milk kefir is good. Coconut kefir, any type of fermented food. Yogurt, make sure there's no sugar in it. Miso soup is a good probiotic. Olives fermented in brine is a great fermented food. Pickles are a good fermented food. So I would rather you eat fermented foods, and you should be getting fermented foods into your gut on a daily basis. All right, let's talk about prebiotics. So prebiotics, a lot of people have confusion. Prebiotics probiotics are bacteria primarily, right? But the prebiotics are the things that feed the bacteria. Prebiotics is the food for the bacteria. And great prebiotics would be things like on this, and I posted a picture. So vegetables mostly, chicory root, inulin, garlic, asparagus, dark green leafy vegetables, jicama. It's bananas, but I don't do bananas, they're too high in sugar. What else we got in here? Leeks, Jerusalem artichoke, chicory root, onion. So those are all good prebiotic foods. And prebiotic is just as important as probiotic because you want to make sure that the probiotics, the good bacteria, have good food to thrive. So just know that gut health is everything, right? These are just short, small little lessons that I'm giving you. When you're a client of mine and you go through my 12-month coaching program, we're basically creating we already have a 12-month coaching program, but what we're doing is we're adding to that program. And this 90 days is the start of adding to that program. And every month we're going to go into detail with videos and PDFs and all kinds of resources and educational tools that we give our clients for the entire month for each of the core concepts. So going through my program in 12 months, you're going to get detailed, in-depth education and training on these 12 core concepts. So that's what we're starting with, these short little tidbit learnings for everybody. Is the first week is the pure food, and in my client portal, which is called the Pura Vida Transformation System, as I go through these trainings, we're going to be creating an entire month of training for each core concept. So by this time next year, we're going to have each core concept completely done and in the portal, so that when you go through the program, you're going to be not just going through all the amazing coaching and in-depth one-on-one and restoring health and life with fat burning and cleansing and detoxification and pure food and all of that, but you're going to be getting this amazing education as well. So prebiotics, probiotics, super important for overall health. We know that bacteria, the good bacteria, actually produce vitamins for your body. The good bacteria produce dopamine and serotonin for brain health. So we now know that the condition and health of your gut is directly related to the health of your brain. It's called the gut-brain connection. And so, we have people that suffer from, depression and anxiety, and so much of that can be helped. There's actually, it's called nutritional psychiatry. I was watching a training on it today by Dr. Mark Hyman, MD, and he was talking about, there's so many studies out there that show the relationship and correlation of mental health and diet and gut health. So sugar and grain and toxins and chemicals in packaged food are going to wreak havoc with your gut. They're going to screw up the dopamine and the serotonin, neurochemicals that make your brain feel happy and at peace, and they're going to create depression and anxiety. So that's a huge part of overall health, is diet and food. Remember, we are what we eat. So in closing, I'd like to recommend two products. And if this is too fast for you and you want to know more about pure food, you can go to my website. I think it's listed on my Facebook page. It's it's Pura Vida Well, PURAVIDA well.com. And there's all kinds of resources on my website. You can book a discovery call with me. You can book a consultation with me. All of that is on my website. So I will post that in the comments of this video, because I don't think I've done that this week. So two products. Again, remember, probiotics, I don't really recommend products unless we do testing first. And the company that I like for probiotics would be Systemic Formulas. There's also two products that I highly recommend for a prebiotic, which helps feed that good bacteria, helps keep you normal as far as bowel movements go, just help with digestion, just help with overall health. So prebiotics, I do recommend supplementing, but of course the food would be better. More of those vegetables that I talked about, asparagus and dark green leafy vegetables. But if you're not eating the best and you're not eating a lot of vegetables, I do recommend a prebiotic supplement. So one that I use that we carry in our office by Systemic Formulas is called Fiber, FBR, and it's both a soluble and insoluble product. It's powder. I add it to my smoothies. Sometimes I add it to my bulletproof coffee in the morning. But it has all of the insoluble and soluble fiber, and has all of the prebiotics that feed the gut. The other one, I just learned about this product yesterday. I was watching a podcast interview with the owner and founder of Bulletproof, Dave Asprey's. He's huge into fasting. He just released a book on fasting. So this product. He developed it himself. I think it's 3 ingredients, and it's specifically a prebiotic, and it dissolves in water and has no taste. A little pricey. I think you'd get more for more bang for your buck with the Systemic Formulas fiber. But I'm actually going to try this product in addition to the fiber, and it's called Inner Fuel. So it's it's bulletproof Inner Fuel, a prebiotic. So those will be the 2 products that I recommend. If you have any questions about anything that I've covered, message me, get on my website. I would love to get on a discovery call with you, or a consultation, or just private message me if you have questions, and I'm here to answer your questions and support you on your journey to health. So that's my shortened, condensed version of gut health, pre and probiotics, what the difference is between the 2 of them, why it's so important to eat all of those foods on a daily basis, fermented foods like kimchi, and prebiotic foods like asparagus and artichoke and garlic, because gut health has everything to do with the rest of your health. All right, signing off, Dr. C.J. Benkert with Pura Vida Wellness, inspiring you, coaching you, teaching you, leading you by example to live your purest, healthiest, most joyous life in body, mind, heart, and spirit. Peace out, everybody.